about talking ideas. Democracy is all about discussion. Democracy is not about hitting each other, not about violence, but to oppose each other's policy in non-violent way. So this is the condition, and now both the parties are alleging each other of a dictatorial thought process and alleging each other for erupting the violence which happened yesterday.
Yes. Right. And I go across now to my colleague Tanisha also, who is joining us here on the broadcast. Tanisha, a very good morning to you. It's just a day since that brawl once again, and the elections yet incomplete because of that issue over a non-valid vote that the mayor called out apparently, and now a poster war erupting. What are the allegations? The poster is labeled Khalnaika. It has Atishi on it, besides Shelly Oberoi, I think. Tell us more about the poster. Also, the allegations that the BJP is making against the Aam Aadmi Party councillors at this point.
Well, Rukma, very, very good morning to you and everybody who's tuned into Republic. Well, it was literally the darkest day in democracy yesterday, because whatever we saw was not expected. Especially from the people who the Dalits have elected to represent them to make their work smoother. Now, what we saw yesterday, I'll quickly give you a sequence of events. I am right now outside the Civic Center, which is for now shut because of the scuffle that happened yesterday, and there's nothing happening much today. The media is not allowed to go inside because there's nothing much happening inside the Civic Center today. However, yesterday the standing committee elections were stopped, and the re-elections of the standing committee will take place on Monday, is what we're getting to know. Now, why was this standing election committee not taken forward? The elections were alleged that, there were 3 of the BJP members and 3 from that of the Aam Aadmi Party who were elected. However, Shelly Oberoi, the Delhi mayor, declared 1 vote as invalid, after which the scuffle broke out. And the scuffle was in a sense that nobody expected, especially at the Civic Center, where there are elected representatives who are who are elected by the people and who would take decisions for the people of Delhi. Now what we see today is a poster war that has come out, where the BJP has alleged clearly that it is Atishi who orchestrated all of this, who instigated the councillors to go forward and attack the BJP members. Because remember, what we have been seeing is allegations and counter-allegations coming in from both the parties, where both the parties have been alleging that the scuffle, the ugly scenes, the ugly violent face-off that happened was because of each other. Nobody's taking the blame. However, it should be responsibility of both the parties, the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, because both of them were involved. However, yesterday, if you remember, BJP clearly released a video where Atishi, the AAP leader, can be seen whispering into the ears of a AAP councillor. And soon after that whisper is when that AAP councillor, the female councillor, went forward and she started the scuffle. So now today, what BJP has done is BJP has released this poster calling Atishi a dictator, calling Atishi an instigator, where they have alleged that it was Atishi who orchestrated all of this.
Right. And joining me on the phone line is BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla. Mr. Poonawalla, sir, well, the entire nation was witness to whatever happened in the MCD House yesterday, whatever happened before that. The BJP levelling allegations of Khalnaika against Atishi in particular, Aam Aadmi Party leader. Tell us more about this poster and your purpose behind releasing it.
You see, it is very clear today that the real orchestrators, the perpetrators of this violence were people like Atishi, Durgesh Pathak and the Delhi mayor, because they could not tolerate or fathom that 3 of the BJP corporators had won in the standing committee election. It was a verdict that has been testified by the election commission officials, and therefore to stall this, to steamroll it, the manner in which Atishi has been caught on tape trying to instigate violence. We can all see that she has said something in the ears of one of the corporators, immediately after that, the violence begins. And we have seen her doing this in the past as well. And more so, we have also seen a BJP corporator, Meenakshi Sharma. Her hand has been cut. So clearly, you can understand the chronology of this violence. The chronology of this violence stems from Aam Aadmi Party's frustration. And that's why this poster shows that these people are the khalnayaks of the Delhi MCD proceedings. They are the ones who behaved in the uncivil manner in the Civic House. And therefore, they are called as the khalnayak of Delhi.
And well, sir, what about we are seeing a poster now being released. Where do you plan? What would be your next step in this battle, as you say, against the kind of hooliganism that we saw in the MCD House, against the fact that the BJP has cried foul that when the mayor said that one vote was non-valid after the election commission verified the voting process. Where do you plan to take this as far as further steps are concerned?
You see, obviously there will be a legal recourse that will be charted out, but on the political front, this battle has to be fought on the streets of Delhi also and inside the house as well. And therefore, on all platforms, this battle will be fought to expose that how the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to arm twist, how it is trying to steamroll, how it is trying to break the rules and laws, and to expose them. That battle will go on in every platform and every forum.
Well, many thanks, Shehzad-ji, for joining us there and for sharing the BJP's point of view regarding this massive storm that we've seen in the MCD House for the past few days now. The House continuous adjournments, ruckus among councillors and manhandling of Aam Aadmi Party and BJP councillors, as well as a massive blame game that has erupted. The latest in this is this poster that you see, viewers, labelled Khalnaika. You see Atishi there and various other Aam Aadmi Party leaders. It's a veiled dig on the part of the BJP at the AAP. Well, many thanks, Tanisha and Sambhav as well for joining us. And a poster war now erupting in the national capital after that massive hooliganism that we saw in the MCD House, allegations and counter allegations that flew. And this is the poster that has been released a day after all that drama in the MCD House in the national capital. In other top stories, the MCD House proceedings have been adjourned till 11 a.m. For February 27th after a startling physical fight between the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP members. And Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has called an emergency meeting with top officials of the Delhi government and the Ministry of Home Affairs. According to reports, officials of the MHA called on the Delhi LG following the violence on Friday evening. Hours after the municipal house was rocked by fresh clashes between the councillors of the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, Delhi Mayor Shelley Oberoi alleged that a few members of the Saffron Party inflicted life-threatening attack on her. At a press conference, she alleged that her colleague Ashu Thakur was also attacked by another BJP councillor. There was no immediate reaction from the BJP regarding this. A Delhi court is hearing arguments on charges against Aftab Poonawalla, accused of strangling his live-in partner Shraddha Walkar and chopping her body into pieces, a sensational murder that triggered widespread shock and outrage. Additional Sessions Judge Manisha Khurana Kakkar fixed the date for the hearing on the charges after Poonawalla was produced physically before the court. Union government approves renaming of Maharashtra's Aurangabad as Chhatrapati and Osmanabad city as Dharashiv. PMLA court sends M. Shiv Shankar, former principal secretary to Kerala CMO, to judicial custody till the 8th of March in the Life Mission scam case. NCP leader and Maharashtra's former minister Nawab Malik's bail plea would be next heard on Tuesday, the 28th of February. Earlier on February 24th, Nawab Malik's petition for bail was heard at the Bombay High Court, post which the court accepted that Malik is unwell. He had applied for bail on medical grounds. Umesh Pal, prime witness in the 2005 Raju Pal murder case, shot dead at his residence. One of his gunners, who too was hit in the firing, died later at a hospital, according to Prayagraj Police Commissioner. A day after a clash between supporters of chief of suspected pro-Khalistan outfit Waris Punjab Day, Amritpal Singh and Punjab police erupted in Ajnala. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann said the law and order situation is under control. While addressing a press briefing at the Mumbai residence of former Maharashtra CM Uddhav Thackeray, Matoshri, it appeared Bhagwant Mann was dodging questions on the Ajnala violence. 8 people killed, at least 50 others injured as a truck hits 2 buses parked on the side of a road on the Rewa-Satna border in Madhya Pradesh on Friday. Eyewitnesses claim the accident took place around 9 p.m. The people in the buses were returning from the Kol Mahakumbh in Satna city. And breaking news coming in from Madhya Pradesh, from Siddhi. In fact, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan on Saturday announced ex gratia of 10 lakh rupees for the next of kin of those who died in the horrific accident on Siddhi Road, in which 8 people lost their lives, 50 were injured. Stationary buses were hit by a speeding truck. Shivraj Singh Chauhan also announced that an amount of 2 lakh rupees each has been sanctioned for the person severely injured in the incident and 1 lakh rupees for those with normal injuries. Condoling the incident, the Chief Minister said the mishap in Siddhi is heartbreaking. The incident took place near Barkhada village, close to Mohania tunnel, where 8 people lost their lives. Several were injured as the truck lost control, allegedly after a tire burst. It rammed into 2 buses from the rear on Friday late at night. The buses were stationary. Let's listen in to more details about the accident from authorities there.
एक सीमेंट भरा हुआ ट्रक पहिया बस्ट हो जाने के कारण अनकंट्रोल्ड हो गया और 3 बसें जो सड़क के किनारे खड़ी थी उनसे जाके टकराया। स्पीड में टकराया होगा इसलिए एक बस एक दिशा में पलट गई, दूसरी बस दूसरी दिशा में पलटी और उनमें जो सवार लोग थे, भाई बहन थे, वो दुर्घटना का शिकार हो गए। अब यहाँ अस्पताल में 39 लोग भर्ती हैं। मैं घटना स्थल भी हम लोग गए थे। अभी घटना स्थल पर अब कोई नहीं है। सारे लोग यहाँ अस्पताल भेजे गए हैं। यहाँ जो 39 लोग हैं उनमें से जो अभी डॉक्टर्स ने बताया वो खतरे के बाहर हैं, कुछ गंभीर हैं तो आईसीयू में हैं।
इसमें 2 बसें खड़ी थी, पीछे से ट्रक आया था, ट्रक पे उसका टायर फट गया था, ऐसा बताते हैं। इसके कारण से उसमें टक्कर लग गई। दोनों बसें बुरी तरह से इसमें गिर गई थी। इसमें से करीब 50 घायल हैं, करीब 7-8 लोग की डेथ की पुष्टि अभी हुई है, जानकारी मिली। इसकी पुष्टि होना से 15-20 गंभीर रूप से घायल है।
Well, viewers, you heard the bites there of Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, giving us more details about this horrific incident. As he said, this happened on the road between a tunnel, and both the buses toppled on either side as a truck laden with cement rammed into them. And news now from Jammu and Kashmir. Another terror attack in J&K. Terrorists, we hear, opened fire on civilians and personnel outside a mosque this time. Here's a detailed report.
On Friday evening, gunshots were heard outside mosque in Hasanpura Tavela area of Anantnag. The terrorists opened a fire on civilians and officers that were posted in the area.
Terror attack in Anantnag of South Kashmir. This time the terrorists show their presence in Hasanpura area of Bijwara, where they targeted civilian who's been identified as Asif Ahmed Ganai, who received leg injury. He was evacuated to Bijwara hospital by the civilians present near the spot, and from Bijwara hospital now he has been referred to Srinagar for advanced treatment. We are seeing a massive Casso launched by the security forces in Anantnag as well as the adjoining district like Kulgam as well as Shopian. Although we are seeing the upper hand of the security forces in the Kashmir Valley, where n number of terrorists have been neutralized in the last 2 and 3 years, and we are seeing the improvement in the security scenario, but also the desperation coming from the terror outfit where they try to target the unarmed civilian. Although as per as the hospital reports suggest that he has received leg injury and his condition is stable, but he has been referred for the advanced treatment in Srinagar. Talking about the encounters in the Kashmir Valley, the last encounter was witnessed in Budgam of Central Kashmir, where the 2 terrorists were neutralized by Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police.
The injured personnel have been admitted to a hospital in Srinagar for further treatment. The terror site has been cordoned off and further investigation is underway. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And coming up in other news that we're tracking, cash starved Pakistan received $700 million from China. Also coming up, global financial crime watchdog FATF suspends Russia's membership, cites violation of principles.
खालिस्तानी सरकार है पंजाब में, क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है भगवान लाल? Mr. 1 will you answer the question of Republic TV? पुलिस वालों को पीटा।
स्टैंडिंग कमेटी के चुनाव की काउंटिंग पीसफुली हुई, लेकिन जैसे ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लगा कि वो स्टैंडिंग कमेटी का चुनाव हार रहे हैं, उन्होंने हमारी मेयर पर बुरी तरह से हमला किया।
चौथा कैंडिडेट आम आदमी पार्टी का चुनाव हार चुका है, लेकिन आम आदमी पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल के कहने के ऊपर यहाँ गुंडागर्दी कर रही है।
Soros, allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media. Non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor. We have no money. The mainstream media has money. We are broke. Help us. Please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है? पंजाब में क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है? भगवान लाल मिस्टर वन, will you answer the question of Republic TV? पुलिस वालों को पीटा।
We're just getting some updates coming at this point of time. Now we are seeing that the visuals coming in on your screen, and what we know so far is that German Chancellor has now arrived in Delhi just right now. German Chancellor has arrived in Delhi just right now. Those are the visuals coming in for you. Olaf Scholz has just arrived in Delhi. And this is the German Chancellor's first India visit. So we can see a lot of talk where we will see a lot of focus on economic ties, green technology, Indo-Pacific strategy. So Scholz is going to have many official engagements in Delhi, and later on tomorrow he'll be leaving for Bengaluru and back to Berlin on Sunday evening. So this is German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's first visit to India, and New Delhi and Berlin are working to stitch together a slew of outcomes in 4 key areas, like we told you: green technology, economic cooperation, Indo-Pacific strategy, and other projects. And being joined right now by our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor is joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, a very good morning to you, and we are seeing that a very key visit is happening right now. This is German Chancellor's first visit to India. What can we expect, Abhishek?
Well, you know, this is, I would say, one of the senior most level visits coming in from Europe in the last 1 year, and this is going to be the first standalone visit of Chancellor Scholz or for a German Chancellor to be coming to India since the relationship was upgraded between the two sides and the intergovernmental consultation mechanism was launched. This was in 2011, so that gives you an idea of how important the visit should be, because the intergovernmental consultation are about whole of a government approach, which means the Chancellor is accompanied with his top-level ministers, and all those cabinet-level consultations are going to take place. And this comes after renewed engagement between the two sides. Remember, Prime Minister had, in the last year, in fact, had 3 occasions when Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Scholz engaged with each other. The one was, of course, 6th India-Germany intergovernmental consultation that took place in Berlin last year, sometime in May, I believe, and PM had visited Berlin with his entire team, which included the Finance Minister, the External Affairs Minister, the NSA, and similar, representation would be traveling with the Chancellor now to New Delhi. And then the Chancellor invited Prime Minister, in fact, to the G7 summit. Chancellor invited Mr. Modi to the G7 summit, and that was a significant invite coming in. And Prime Minister engaged with the entire European leadership, development leadership there, and of course there were bilateral talks between the two sides. And then on sidelines of the G20, I believe, sometime late last year. And this is bilateral engagement that's happening now. And then again, at the end of the year, Chancellor Scholz would be traveling again as part of the G20 Leaders Summit that takes place in September in New Delhi. So these are engagements that are taking place in the two sides. Important because Germany is at the heart of Europe when it comes to dealing with the Europe war, the Russia-Ukraine war. And we have seen Germans really nuancing their position because of their very heavy dependence on Russian energy and the supplies. Remember, the Nord Stream 2 and 1 pipelines have been a sticking point between Germany and United States, for example. And if you look at the GDP-wise, the kind of engagement that's between the two sides, the two sides have launched for Green and Sustainable Development Partnership, and this was during Prime Minister's visit to Berlin for the 6th IGC in May last year. And the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership is sort of an umbrella that provides political guidance to make the two nations and their bureaucracies work together on UN Sustainable Development Goals and particularly the climate goals. So I think in that sense, the business relationship, the strategic relationship. Remember, Germany increased its defense budget last year in quantum ways, and in fact came out with an Indo-Pacific strategy also. So those would be other aspects of the dialogue between the two sides, and those have to be taken forward. So important visit. The Chancellor lands and heads straight for a ceremonial welcome, after which he would be having the delegation, that there would be delegation level talks at the Hyderabad House, the ceremonial welcome, of course, at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and post the delegation level talks, there would be joint statement, and then the Chancellor travels or actually goes to the Rajghat and pays his respects to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and then he has another engagement at the embassy in the evening. Then for the business part of the visit, he's traveling to Bengaluru, and there are some engagements there where he goes to an IT park and, among other things, engages with the business community, India's IT leadership there in Bengaluru. So a message there. Important visit, engagement of the Chancellor, and it is going to give fresh momentum to the bilateral relationships. Remember how just last week Chancellor mentioned, quoted the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar while speaking at the Munich Security Conference, and said that this is not an era of war and that we have to talk. And that was an indication that just ahead of the first anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war, there seems to be some thought in some parts of Europe, at least, that there has to be some way out found for this stalemate of a war that has continued in Europe for all this while. In fact, incidentally, today marks the a day after first anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war. So important dialogue there going to happen between German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Prime Minister Modi and respective delegations.
And Abhishek, if you could tell our viewers what this really means when it comes to bilateral ties between the two countries. We know that the ties between India and Germany, they have been in the upswing on a range of key areas in the last few years.
Well, absolutely. So this is a bilateral dialogue happening. This is the topmost level of dialogue happening, and I just gave a background of the level of engagement that has taken place, or the intensity of engagement that has been there over the last 1 year itself, Shivangi. So 3 top-level meetings between the two sides, Chancellor Scholz and Prime Minister Modi meeting on the sidelines of G7, on the sidelines of G20, and of course, and the bilateral IGC that took place in Berlin last year, and this meeting happening now and then would happen again. The defense partnership is also an area where the two sides are really coming close, and and the green energy and climate partnership that's really taking shape. So, for example, the Indo-Pacific strategy that I was talking about, Germany has come out with its own Indo-Pacific Oceans initiative, and as part of which a German naval frigate Baron was on a 7-month deployment to the Indo-Pacific from August 2021, and in fact, it made a port of call in Mumbai. So a lot of convergence there, a lot of give and take insofar as technology is concerned. Then there are so many aspects of international cooperation in which the two sides really engage. So I think, Shivangi, this is going to be an important engagement between India and Germany, particularly, as I said, in the backdrop of the ongoing Europe war, and if the two leaderships really can come together. Also, remember, Chancellor Scholz is one of the very few senior leaders from Europe or the West who have traveled to China, for example, to engage with the Chinese interlocutors on the Europe war. Germany suffers the most if they don't get the Russian oil energy supplies, and in that sense, the green energy partnership that is taking shape between the two sides, India and Germany, on the green and sustainable development targets is going to be an important one. Around 983 million euros of new commitments were finalized during the annual negotiation that was held in November last year between India and Germany, and it's likely that those might get renewed. Also, for example, the two sides have agreed to cooperate on green hydrogen, and remember, green hydrogen has been the focus in the budget that was revealed by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman earlier this month on February 1, and if the two sides can, bring out some more specific actions on that, that would be interesting to watch out for.
All right. Thank you, Abhishek Kapoor, for getting us all the details there. So we are seeing that the German Chancellor is in Delhi right now, and a lot of talks expected on key areas on strengthening bilateral ties between India and Germany, just like our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor was explaining to us. All right, let's move ahead, viewers. We're getting some updates coming in right now, some breaking updates coming in this Saturday morning. The clashes between ABVP SFI students at Hyderabad Central University. We know the clashes happened over student union elections, as the ABVP alleges SFI violence against the tribal students of ABVP, and they use special sharp objects like knives to attack them. Meanwhile, the SFI alleged the ABVP, fearing a defeat in the election, is trying to attack and provoke the students. All right, let's go ahead to Anevi joining us as well this morning. Anevi, just take us through exactly what transpired there at the Hyderabad Central University. There are clashes reported.
Well, that's right, Shivangi. What we are seeing right now on our screens are the visuals from the Hyderabad Central University, where we see that there were clashes which broke out between the ABVP student wing and also the SFI wing, where we are seeing that both of them have been alleging that they had broken out, while ABVP alleges that SFI had broken out a violent protest. They used sharp objects like knives and such other objects to attack on the ABVP students, whereas when we talk about the SFI wing, SFI also states the same way, and they had stated that ABVP had attacked brutally on the SFI cadre, and that is why, well, they also further state that ABVP is fearing a defeat in the election and is trying to attack and provoke the student community, whereas we see that ABVP, on the other hand, have been saying that the SFI wing had attacked on the ABVP students. So definitely a massive clash which has broken out last night in the Hyderabad Central University, where we see that both the student groups, few of them have been injured in this. Well, we have to still wait for the management to respond over this, but yes, this clash was over the student union elections which are happening at the Hyderabad Central University, and now we see that clashes broke out between the ABVP and the SFI.
All right, Editorial, thank you for joining us there. So we're getting these visuals as come in from Hyderabad, where you can see a campus clash has erupted in Hyderabad between ABVP and SFI students. The clashes happened over student union elections. Charges being traded and, in fact, many allegations being put on both the groups. ABVP alleges SFI violence against tribal students, and SFI alleged that ABVP is fearing a defeat in the elections and is trying to attack the student community and provoke them. Let's take a very short break, viewers. We are continuing our live coverage here this morning.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी से अपील करना चाहूंगी, जब दिल्ली MCD में जब वो हार चुके हैं तो अपनी हार को स्वीकार क्यों नहीं करते?
For the fifth time, the Civic Centre turned into a wrestling ring. Newly elected mayor attacked. And cash star Pakistan receives $700 million from China.
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
खालिस्तानी सरकार है पंजाब में, क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है भगवान? Mr. Man, will you answer the question of Republic TV? पुलिस वालों को पीटा।
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even one... I don't pay taxes to see these uncouth politicians send this image of Indian democracy. I don't pay taxes so they can have 45 non-stop minutes of a bloody battle. I don't pay taxes so they can kick, punch, attack, throw, and they can pin each other down and tear each other's hair. No, I don't pay taxes to hear them abuse and use the most ugly and dirty abuse at each other as they turn an elected house to a battle pitch. I don't pay taxes and you don't pay taxes so they can tear each other's clothes. I don't pay taxes to see this happen. If even tonight, after what I just showed you and what I am about to show you, if after tonight you remain quiet, then you and me and all of us will deserve this maniacal expression of democracy. We need to tell the Neta how disgusted we are and that in the name of no movement, no right or left wing so-called ideology can you justify this. Republic will only and only be on the side of the people, and we will be against the Netas when that happens. So the Netas are on notice and the Netas have a choice. Sack, apologize or face the legitimate anger of the people of India.
Viewers, we're live and breaking, and some big breaking news is coming in right now. Big win for RRR once again as it backs the Critics Award. Another win coming in after RRR received rave reviews from fans. It has become a global phenomenon. In fact, Natu won the Golden Globe for Best Original Song. But right now, one more award for RRR as it has bagged the Hollywood Critics Award. Viewers, reactions coming in.
With the second one, thank you so much. It means a lot. I can't express in words how much it means. This is the best action film. We won the best stunts, but probably the best stunt was for the stunt choreographer. I really would have loved to have the stunt choreographers here to see this, because I think that is the team that works so hard, puts their life on the line to entertain us. I think I'll take this opportunity to ask all the major awards to make a special category for the stunt guys, stunt choreographers. They really, really deserve that. This is for all the stunt choreographers, not only in my country, but across the world, who really work hard to entertain us all. Thank you, HCA, again. This really means a lot to me. Thank you. Now I'm flying.
So viewers, big win for RRR once again. Won the Hollywood Critics Award, took home the award for Best Action Film, and won the Best Stunts and the Best Song. Natu in these categories, they have won 3 awards at the Hollywood Critics Award. Viewers, big news coming in and a big win for RRR and a proud moment for India. Viewers, much more coming up on the other side this Saturday morning. Global financial crime watchdog FATF suspends Russia's membership, cites violation of principles. And South Africa stuns England to reach the Women's T20 World Cup final. Stay tuned.
खालिस्तानी सरकार है पंजाब में, क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है भगवान। Mr. 1 will you answer the question of Republic TV? पुलिस वालों को पीटा।
स्टैंडिंग कमेटी के चुनाव की काउंटिंग पीसफुली हुई, लेकिन जैसे ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लगा कि वो स्टैंडिंग कमेटी का चुनाव हार रहे हैं, उन्होंने हमारी मेयर पर बुरी तरह से हमला किया।
चौथा कैंडिडेट आम आदमी पार्टी का चुनाव हार चुका है, लेकिन आम आदमी पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल के कहने के ऊपर यहाँ गुंडागर्दी कर रही है।
Soros, the allegedly evil Soros, has given a lot of money to a lot of people in the Indian news and especially the Indian digital news ecosystem. These people, who we will henceforth refer to as the hashtag Soros media, are therefore very rich media. The ironical part is that these completely blemished hashtag Soros media then asks the non-Soros media ethical questions. The Soros media asks the non-Soros media tell us who owns the news. Well, I tell them, Uncle Soros owns you. These unethical members of the Soros media have been completely lying and constantly lying and saying, oh, you got to pay to keep the news free. We are so poor, we have no money, the mainstream media has money, we are broke, help us, please give us 100 rupees. Why 100 rupees? Should even 1 rupee be given by you?
Top global updates. Tropical cyclone Freddy dropped dangerous and exceptional rainfall levels over Mozambique as the long-lasting weather system continues to wreak havoc across southern Africa. The cyclone is projected to weaken as it barrels through South Africa, but still poses serious risk of heavy rainfall to the neighboring nations. Heavy rain flooded streets around Los Angeles. The storms have blacked out nearly 1 million homes and businesses from coast to coast, closed major roads, caused pileups, snarled air travel. More than 300 flights were cancelled and over 4,000 were delayed across the U.S. Heavy snow still covered the landscape in Morocco's high Atlas Mountains as a week of wintry weather continues. Footage from isolated villages to the northwest of the cities there showed some cars buried under the snowfall in the recent days. Viewers, much more coming up on the other side as we continue to be live and breaking. Ruckus and sloganeering continues. MCD House adjourned till February 27th. And amid a massive ruckus and sloganeering in MCD, Aam Aadmi Party stages dharna in the national capital.
पंजाब में क्या खालिस्तानी सरकार है भगवान? Mr. 1 will you answer the question of Republic TV? पुलिस वालों को पीटा